Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming and welcome to another first Descendant video. So we are getting some improvements to breach tracking and I'm hoping this gets more people interested in breach tracking. Now there are several really good descendants for the breach tracking maps. Freyna is good, Lepic is good, VSS is good, Valby is good, but I think overall the most consistent is Ultimate Yujin, and also he has very fast clear times on all three maps. So I wanted to showcase Yujin for breach tracking and also wanted to share my thoughts of Yujin because I think he's one of the best endgame descendants right now. He came out with Forbidden Sanctuary in early December, and overall I have had a great time using Ultimate Yujin. Very easy to understand and build, and does a lot of damage. And to some extent, I wanted Enzo to be a bit similar, especially with the drone. But basically, this is what Enzo should have been. So let's have a quick recap of his skills and his build, and then I'll show you some footage of the breach tracking mission. So his skills are very straightforward, easy to understand. Skill 1 and 3 use his HP to deal damage. Skill 1 is a drone that does continuous damage. It drains 5% HP for every second, and it hits a target with 417% skill power. And if there's a single large target, let's say only one target, it does the enhanced damage, which is 839%. It starts off with hitting 2 enemies, and depending on your range, you can increase the number of enemies hit by your drone up to a maximum of 5 at 300% range. So if you max out the range, you'll be able to hit 5 targets in front of you. Okay, so that is the first skill. The third skill uses your HP again, but unlike the first one, which is continuous, this one is a one-time thing. So it uses 15% of your max HP and does a big AoE damage. Skills 2 and 4 recover your HP because you are constantly using HP with these two skills. So you need something to recover your HP. So skill 2, he fires forward a restructure serum. This weakens the enemy. They take more damage. They are less resistant to firearm critical hit and things like that. And they also give you a little bit of HP back. But when they die, they give you 19.4% of your HP back. So again, very convenient to recover your HP constantly. We want the first ability to be up all the time, and then we use the other 3 abilities to maintain our HP and deal damage. With the fourth ability, you get 82.9% of your HP back, almost 83%. So when your HP is running low, you activate your fourth, get your health back. You also get a couple of statuses, purification and hyperactivity, and they give you various effects, things like continuous debuff immunity, firearm critical hit damage, skill critical hit damage, and then with hyperactivity, you get firearm attack increase, you get skill power increase of 49%, and then you get movement speed increase of 35%. The passive gives you cooldown for HP. So for every 5,000 HP, you get 10% cooldown up to a maximum of 25,000 HP or 50% cooldown. You don't have to do that, but if you can get as much as you want, you can save on a few cooldown mods. The other thing is nano recovery cells. So while you're killing enemies with your first and third abilities, you get something called nano cells. And if your HP drops very low to under 35%, it instantly recovers your HP by 37%. So yeah, so that is basically how the skills work. We want the first skill to be up all the time, and then we use the other 3 skills as and when needed. So I'll just quickly demonstrate the different skills here. So let's get 5 of these guys here. So we use the first ability here, and as you can see, we are hitting 5 enemies, and you are only going to hit enemies in front of you. So if I do this, we won't hit them. As long as you're looking at them, you'll be able to hit them. Okay. And also you want to be at a reasonable distance. Don't go too close like this, otherwise you won't hit many people. So you have to basically keep them in front of you all the time and stay at a normal distance. Obviously it's not that easy, but yeah, try to sort of stay in front of you. With some other descendants, they can hit on the sides and behind them as well, but with Yujin, try to keep them in front of you. Okay, so let's showcase the other skills now. So that was the first skill. Let's look at the second skill. So with the second skill, you fire the structured serum forward, and when an enemy dies, they will recover your health. You can see that they've just instantly refilled my health because I fired the structured serum forward. They also take more damage and things like that. For the third skill, this one is pretty straightforward. Let's get a bunch of Vulgus here. you walk somewhere in the middle and you activate your third, and you have a big AoE damage which takes care of almost all of them. Level 260 Order of Truth. So very straightforward. And now for the final ability, basically, as you can see with the first ability, we are constantly losing a little bit of health, 5% every second. So if you use the fourth ability, it will instantly refill your health, 82.9%. And you get the two buffs as well, or the statuses, the purification and hyperactivity. So you will move faster and things like that. So very, very simple to understand the skills. Now, before I show you the build, I wanted to talk about the rotation you need before you activate your first ability in order to get the maximum damage. So basically, when you activate your first skill, it sort of takes a snapshot of the damage and all the buffs and things like that. So in order to get the maximum damage, if you build up the stacks of your truth stacks from the external components as well as the single reload for peace from the peacemaker, you can do the maximum damage and it stays like that. So basically, use the second ability 2 times, third ability once, fourth ability once, and then you activate the first. So you can see I have 5 of the single reload for peace, 3 of the true stacks, and this will stay like this even when the statuses run out. So let me get a Vulgus here. And let's do this again. So let's refill here. Okay, so skill. So your sequence is 2, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 2, 3, 4, 1. So now if you see, we are going to hit the Vulgus for like 7.5 million over here. Wait for the statuses to go away. So truth stacks, the 3 truth stacks are gone. We are still doing 7.5 million. And the 5 single reload for peace are also gone. We are still doing 7.5 million. So because we activated the first when all the buffs were active, it'll keep that until you stop using the first ability. So that is our target. Get all the buffs ready and then activate your first. And then if you can maintain this throughout the mission, it will do the maximum amount of damage. Okay, and also if you get on the bike or something and you get off the bike, do the same sequence again, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, let's have a look at the build now. So with combat protocol, we have only 5% base critical hit rate, so we will be working with the amplification modes. So we have focus on fusion, fusion amplification. You can have focus on non-attribute and non-attribute amplification. We have a lot of cooldown, so I'm going with power increase to balance the skills. We also get more non-attribute from the external components as well as the gun we are holding in hand, the Peacemaker. So these are your main damage dealing modes. We have 2 HP modes, increased HP and stim accelerant. We are basically using stim accelerant instead of nimble fingers because we are getting extra cooldown with more HP. So we are only using 1 cooldown mode in MP conversion. We have 2 range modes to maximize the number of enemies we hit with our drone. And then for the Ancestors module, you want fusion skill power boost ratio. That is the main thing you want. You don't care about cooldown here. Fusion and non-attribute, if you can get those, fusion is more important. If you just get a lot of fusion, that is good enough. Fusion modifier is not that useful, but if you get a little bit alongside fusion power, that is also good. But yeah, fusion power boost ratio is the most important thing on the Ancestors module. For the trigger module, we are using power beyond. Once again, because of the first skill, this is the one that will be active all the time and doing damage. The other options we have for the first skill is death by 1,000 cuts, but it doesn't work with our first skill because this is a continuous damage dealing type skill and it only counts as 1 the first time you press the button to activate this. So we are not getting the stacks constantly. So we are just taking the 15% flat power increase from power beyond. We are not going to benefit from the other things with the power beyond trigger module. For the external components, we have the Enlightened Mage set, and these are the usual roles here. For the reactor, we have materialized mixture, which is non-attribute and fusion type. And the options we want here are fusion power boost ratio and cooldown. For the inversion reinforcement, we have focus boost to reduce the cost a little bit, selective cellular stimulation to recover your HP, and then we have deploy hardened shell to reduce the incoming damage. For the Arche Tuning, we take the skill power here, we take the MP recovery out of combat, we take the skills in the middle, we take the 3 range nodes, we need these to max out the range, and we take the enhanced skill power, and then we take the MP nodes, we take the cooldown, enhanced cooldown, we go right, take the skill power, and we go and take the Arche Chain Catalyst. For the remaining nodes, you can take some more skill power, some MP, and the enhanced MP recovery modifier. Finally, we have the gun in hand, the Peacemaker. So Peacemaker, when you have the 5 stacks, you get a lot more non-attribute power. And we are just holding this in hand. This is a stat stick. So you can put sprint course, you can put grapple cooldown reduction course, and this will give you the maximum cooldown. So, sorry, not cooldown, the sprint speed. So if you see here, our sprint speed is 1104. And also with our 4th skill, we get more cooldown, more sprint speed. So if you see here, we are at 1384. So let me show you the power increase from truth stacks and the single reload for peace. So if you see over here, we have 1.052 times non-attribute skill power boost. Okay, so we'll do the same thing we have with our rotation. So 2, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now we have 5 of the reload for peace and 3 of the true stacks, and now we have 2.322 non-attribute skill power. This is also useful because in our Arche Tuning, we are using Arche Chain Catalyst. This needs 1.6 non-attribute power to give you the maximum resistance reduction on the enemies, non-attribute reduction. So we are getting that as well when we have all these things up. The statuses have gone away now, so we are not getting that amount, but we're still getting something. And as you can see, we are doing the maximum damage because it took the snapshot when we had the most power. And so that is Yujin. Very simple, very straightforward. Once you have your first skill active, you can also switch and use a different weapon. Let's say you want to use the Thunder Cage. You can switch. You don't have to hold the Peacemaker after that. You can use the Thunder Cage, and if you want to shoot at the enemies, but you don't even need to do that, even though you do get some gun-related perks as well. But yeah, that is it for Ultimate Yujin. A nice recap. I think he's a very good Descendant currently in the game. And I'll leave you with some footage of the breach tracking. But yeah, that's it for this one. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts and whether you are playing breach tracking. I have started playing a couple of the missions daily and just opening the blue box for the superconductive cooling units. I think the maximum I've received at the moment is 80 in one run. But yeah, it's at least something. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. See you next time.
sure you recover. Take this. This will tickle. Take this. This will tickle. Let the healing get out of the way. This will tickle. Take this. This will tickle. Take this. I'll make sure you recover. This will tickle. Out of the way. Take this. Out of the way. This will tickle. Out of the way. This isn't good. Take this. Let's see this through to the end. Out of the